I did it for fun, gave it out for free. And that's like that. Baking for me was more than creativity. It was God opening my eyes into impact, that this is more than curiosity for you. This is where I want you to be. Marine science for me was acquiring knowledge, understanding process, understanding research because of what I was coming into now. So I have a shawarma store. That was demolished around August. Then the bakery happened in December.
How did you transform that pain into purpose?
It wasn't easy. I had to walk back home and it was a lot of questions. It was a very, very tough thing. Couldn't follow the trend of it has to be familiar for it to be purpose. There are other things you need to learn in some classrooms of people who have gone through that process so that you're able to compress the losses you will feel when you go through the same thing. So look out for people that are doing what you want to be doing and go and learn from them. It's what you have. Start from where you are. Enjoy your process. Document your process. Elevate your process. Push it out. Let people see it. Carry people along with the process, and most importantly,
Hi Nancy, welcome.
hi, thank you for having me.
I want to take it back a bit, right? I know I was going to go there. You studied marine science technology in FUTA. So how does a journey that started undergraduate in marine now evolve to you flourishing in the pastry, confectionery, and baking space now?
Thank you for that. I would say the base of my journey would be curiosity. So I'm a very curious person. But I mean, I graduated 2019. So if you had asked me 2019 that you're going to be in the baking space, I'll be like, no way.
No, you.
Because everyone around me thought that, Nancy was going to finish marine science, go for a master's, do oil and gas. Of course, I'm from Akwa. So I felt like I had to connect. My uncles were waiting for me to graduate. I'd be like, okay, come and work, in one of these oil companies. So I'd already planned my life that I would do oil and gas. But somehow I had that flair for food. In school, if you went in university, you would probably understand culinary ministry, right? If you attended fellowship. So that's fellowship mama that cook and call people to come and just eat. And so I never had small pots in school. I had big pots where I didn't have the usual student pots, right? I just enjoy people coming to eat and be happy, right? So somehow in my mind, I just feel like, okay, when I do oil and gas for maybe 10, 15 years, when I save up some money, I'll probably run a restaurant. So now me running a restaurant is, my money will be funding it. White people will be running it for me. But I'm sure God was just saying, see this girl.
You don't know what's coming.
You don't know what's coming for you. So I feel like the whole journey was God wanting me to go through the process and understand it. And my dream still valid. Yes, would I still want to run a restaurant? Maybe not a restaurant. But yeah, you need me to understand how it really works, right, to get there. So after marine science, 2019, I served 2020. 2020, 2021, I was neck deep into tech and COVID happened.
Yeah.
And I think while COVID happened, I went to camp. Did not go to our laptops to camp. I went to product school. That okay, I cannot design. At least I'm able to do something on my phone able to do. So I went to product school. And I was still doing a little bit of product management, joined the product community and all of that. And COVID happened. So COVID happened in my auntie's house. I couldn't go over. So I like to be busy, but I'm not really a domestic person. I don't like it. So I try to bring out fun from it. So I started recording. Anytime my auntie asked me to cook, I record it and I'll post it on my WhatsApp status. So it became a thing, right? So it became NahNah o'clock. So people started reaching out, somebody told me that every Friday you used to post something. Please, can you add me up? And I'm like, okay. I contacted someone. We did a design for it and we posted it and it became a thing and we started growing like that. And if you could recall very well, that banana bread broke out during COVID. So it was that the day I thought banana bread and I posted, somebody was like, banana bread, can I taste it? I'm like, no, I did not do it for tasting. I just
did it for yourself.
Teach. You can something you can try at home. I'm like, I don't have time to try it. Do it for me. And that's how I started. So I did it for fun, gave it out for free. And be like, I like it. Can I have it again? My sister's like, my cousin wants it. Okay, let me give you this amount of money. So I took some, to my colleagues at the office. And a friend of mine came in, we went to school together. So he came to me at the office. I'm like, NahNah, this was okay, well, I think you can start selling. I mean, my sisters liked it at home. And that's how I started. So it just started. I didn't even know how to do the whole measurement thing. I was still measuring my flour and sugar, like when you cook rice and when you're trying to sprinkle salt.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That's how I did most of my experiments then. So the only thing that made me continue is that I was making one good one as a day.
Interesting.
I was posting, people were giving me reviews. I was reposting. People kept on.
Where were you posting on? Instagram
WhatsApp,
or WhatsApp?
WhatsApp. I think that period too, there was, I think, NSAS, I can't remember now. So I baked a lot. I baked about 150 plates then to give out for free. So all of those activities, went on and on. I was still saving. So I'd saved up my alawi for about 6 months. I didn't touch it because the business, in quotes, was taking care of me. And I just said, okay, let me even go and learn this thing professionally, because some days it looks well and some days it doesn't look well. But still, I still send it. So he just told me something that Nigerians they don't really care. They care, but they don't really care. So far, your product is sweet.
I think it's a baseline. Once you can cross that baseline and deliver to them,
and your packaging is good, they will buy. So I'm like, okay, let me think ahead of these people. Let me go and learn it professionally while I was still holding tech.
On one side. Interesting.
So I went to culinary school. I learned everything. Continental, African dishes, pastries. But I mean, let me take you back. So even during COVID, some of my friends that were not based in Lagos, that got stuck in Lagos, I used to deliver stew, soup bowl, spaghetti bowl. So it actually started with food. So because I had that restaurant flair and dream, I felt like, okay, food was it. So that's why I went to culinary school to learn everything, thinking that food will take me. But I think pastries drew my attention more because coming from UI UX, I felt like pastries were where I could express my creativity. Jollof rice is just jollof rice. There's a routine to it. But sometimes when customers give you some cakes, you just have to be creative around it. As doing banana bread, I started out as always healthy. So when we come over, my mom is allergic to sugar. Can you do something around chocolates? I'm like, okay. I sit down, look at the recipe, see what we can do. It just helps my creativity. So I'll say from marine science to tech. So I started seeing pastries as a place where I could express more. Okay. And all my journey, from creativity and all helped.
Sure.
In how to package my product to, because I've done UI UX before, I think of my customer as a user. Okay, I want to make sure that this person is comfortable, to make sure that this product is enjoyable by these people. And I think I just found myself there. And after culinary school, I started not necessarily officially, but then I just started. Let's see where this will lead us. So maybe okay. Yeah, the thing is, that's how I moved. And it's okay, maybe when I save up some money, I will able to buy another laptop. Because within 3 months, 2 laptops, my motherboard got spoiled. So it was when I grew better, I understood that it was God redirecting me there. That if I give this girl another laptop, she will not face this baking. I'll be one product manager somewhere. But I felt like baking for me was more than creativity. It was God opening my eyes into impact. That okay, this is more than curiosity for you. This is where I want you to be. So
then you nurtured it ever since that time. It kept within.
I've not looked back, and I've not taken any side hustle. So it's been my main side hustle.
It's been interesting. That was very, very interesting. Right? You mentioned how your uncles were expecting that you come and join. Maybe how did they handle it when they knew that you were not coming back to what they thought would be your job?
The funny thing is that even till yesterday, my dad called me. I'm like, your uncle's around one. He said you should send your CV. I'm like, CV for what? He's like, Mary sent me Mary. I can't remember my project topic. So I've kept that piece. So I feel like marine science for me with God was acquiring knowledge, understanding process, understanding research, right? Because of what I was coming into now. Yeah. But parents are so big on my daughter works here. Nobody wants to say my daughter is selling cake. But the moment you hit something big, your uncles will call to say your daddy said, I'm like, he did not tell me congratulations, but thank you.
Yes. I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would say that parents are always the parents.
Yeah.
They don't understand process, but always give them results.
And eventually they'll come around and
Of
still
course, even
support
if they
what
don't
you
come
do.
around, I don't care.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't care. I'll continue to feed you with results so that you see, and with the results that don't require your effort. So you would obviously see that this one is not human backing, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm sure that I don't know, with my journey, some of the results I've seen are not results that human can explain. So some of these results I've told my parents, and they're like, let's just leave her. And she started.
Sure. Good, interesting, right? So it takes a lot of inner strength or mental strength to be able to decide that this is the direction I want to pursue. And then you mentioned how, from what you said so far, the importance of knowing what God wants you to do, the direction where He wants you to be, and then timing and all of that. Moving from when COVID happened, NSAS, especially as a female. So where did you get the idea from, or that inner direction or sense of purpose or direction that I want to build something for myself? Or when you even start to know that God is calling me to something, was it clear to you that you could feel it, that I think God wants me to do this one or not do this one? Yeah, or I think I just need to push through to try and get this thing I'm doing to get something out of it?
I would say for me, from the beginning, I didn't know. Because I said earlier that I was just doing that by the side. I still held them to tech because post-COVID, tech was like if you're not a tech, you don't know what you're doing, right? So I would say that for some of us, maybe because I've always been a church girl too, so everything you want God. So whether you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing,
Tell him about it
to God. So at that point, I think that particular year, God had to let me know that I don't think don't follow the trend of it has to be familiar for it to be purpose, right? And it can be unfamiliar, and that's your journey.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense to tell my friends that, NahNah, there's this PM role, and I'm like, I'm not doing tech anymore. I don't understand. What are you doing? I'm baking. I'm like, are you on the world? People are dropping things
to take
come
up
to tech.
Yeah.
You are leaving tech to come to this part, but it didn't need to make sense. I don't think it needed to make sense to everyone, because one thing I had to understand then, I don't have a lot of friends too. Yeah. I will always go back to that. My house I'll enter my wardrobe and look it. So most of these things and memories are on my Snapchat. I'll just go there and record videos. I'll tell myself that don't worry, it will soon be over. I'll clean my eyes and nobody know that I've cried or something. But I've always been that girl that any small conveyance, I'm running back to God to say, I don't understand what is happening. Just enjoying that. So I think that has shaped my journey.
Yeah.
Because I'm very strong-willed. The moment I hear God, I don't think anybody
follow it through.
Yeah. So the moment that God tells me that, okay, I get this, sometimes I don't even hear. I must have prayed and I just sensed that, no, let me just continue. So the moment I have that sense of, fulfillment there, and I could also sense that God is backing me, I don't think anyone can talk me into it. So that's what has pushed me through almost 5 years of running, like pastry business, because people will talk and I also don't compare because of course everybody that started together within 1 year went for masters. I was still in one, in the clique that went into pastry. They're like, leave this country, come out and come and do research, leave this country. I knew, God, I didn't have the full picture. I'm not sure even I had a glimpse, but I knew that God was backing me up here. And because, I've been the child, my mom would tell me that while growing up, when other children will probably go and play, I'll come and take empty tin tomato containers, and that she will always watch me from the window at the back, seeing me always talking to imaginary grass. I'll take Maggie, I'll just be cooking for imaginary things. So she could also tell that there's something around, food. And when I go to restaurants as a small girl, primary school, you're eating, Me, I'm sitting, I'm looking at how the chairs are arranged. I feel they can do this better. So when I have my restaurant, I will arrange chairs better as a small girl. So somehow there was that, I'll say that flair for not just food, but, having to nurture people with food.
Interesting. I can absolutely agree that that's a very, very powerful place to be, especially knowing that this is what God has called me to be. And you mentioned something that is quite interesting or insightful also, that doesn't have to be familiar, or your very close friends or even family members might not see what you're saying, but once you can feel it and you know that, oh, this is what I need to do, this is what God is calling me to do, then you can just go on head on. It still does not guarantee that it's going to be all rosy, but then knowing that it's backing you, then you can just keep going and eventually you find success. You shared a story also at some point in time about the demolition of your bakery space. So such challenges, especially in Nigeria, where there are a lot of infrastructure issues, system issues, some people they even lack the funds. Some people will face that kind of challenge and they'll just give up. I think I'm no more doing this, and let me just go to what is much easier. What was happening inside you at that point in time? How did you transform that pain into purpose?
Well, it wasn't easy. Yeah, it wasn't easy. I think, I don't know, a lot was going on, but my kind of person, I barely voice out. So you would not understand what's going on because what you see in the pictures may not look like what I'm exactly going through. The funny thing is that it was 2 demolitions I experienced in 1 year. So I have a shawarma store somewhere on the mainland, and that was demolished around August. Then the bakery happened in December. So I was still trying to nurse the
demolition of the
the first one, because the first one they had been coming. Oh, my staff were calling they said this. Okay, and they asked us to make payments, and I'm not the only store there, so we're about 15 stores on one line. So we all make payments. So on Monday he called me and he was like, "Ma," and they asked us to pay for CC. At this point, because different faces coming to claim this, and you know how Lagos State is with this housing thing. And I kid you not that by Tuesday 9 a.m. everyone was emerged.
Have you moved out your stores?
Mm-hmm. So some people will say, "Oh, they're supposed to give 24 hours notice." We did not get a clear notice to move out. So they came in on Monday, different people. They collected money. Like, well, one of you people, which is normal because it's not the first time. But by Tuesday, the people that came were totally different from people.
And they just came out.
Now, by the time he was sending me pictures on Tuesday, he could not even call me. So he sent me videos, and I'm like, I had to call, like, what's going on? Everywhere was demolished. I'm like, oh my God. And I just opened that store barely 1 year ago. Trying to not start thinking out, let me move the operations there to the bakery where we were at the moment. I was hearing rumors of, they want to sell the place. Or some people say, no, they're not selling. The new landlord wants us to continue. But so I just prepared my mind that, okay, in case, there'll probably be an increase in rent, which I was already preparing myself for, because, Ember periods are like our peak periods. So we're always having jobs. And I was also running like a mini MBA program. So I was not totally in the store. I was running a mini MBA program for like two months. So I was not always in the bakery, right? So all of that mental exhaustion was so much. But, at that time, for somebody who would always go back to God, I didn't have strength to pray. Because first, I'm like, if such a thing was going to happen, somehow you would have told me. If I wasn't listening, you would have sent my friends. That's how God calls my attention to something. But you didn't tell me anything. You didn't send anybody to me. So what's happening? And December, I had to move back home. And it was a lot of questions. It was a very tough, very, very tough period because I couldn't pray. So there was no way I was really drawing strength from. I was just floating on, community prayers, and maybe a few friends that were just like, what's wrong with you? I said something is wrong, and just pray for me and for. And, I don't know. I can't really tell how I survived that phase. But coming back home where I am like, okay, I started from here, at least, and I moved happy. So if I can start from here, I can also come back and continue. But it was a whole lot of chaos at home. Like, you're coming back here because, of course, I had expanded. So the small girl that started with maybe one oven wasn't coming back that we had expanded. When I moved from home, I was the only one working. by the time I moved there, I'd had like 6 staff members. So coming back home to, that's such capacity wasn't something anybody wanted to see, because where are you going to drop your load and all? But I bet some of my neighbors, so some of my things are downstairs, my neighbor's place, and everywhere. I brought some up, my room, my sister's room, everything was just filled up. So having conversations like, see, I've told you, come and work, you don't want to work, see yourself now, you have done your own and you have failed. What? I'm like, what? I was trying to nurse the idea that, okay, I think I tried. At least I tried to pat myself on the back. But what I wasn't prepared for was somebody trying to remind. I know that, okay, yeah, it failed, but I didn't need somebody to remind me at that time that you failed. And then, that took me like, no, I was on my own. It's oil and gas. I said, I want you to send me here. So if you're going to send me, then you have to help, right? And, at that point, I wasn't interested in doing the business again. We crossed into the new year. That's this year. My friends were like, okay, December, I went for reboot camp, because I always go for reboot camp. So at that, my going for reboot camp, I was like, God, what next? I went there. I came back, God gave me instructions for other people, and they tell me anything.
About yourself.
So I felt like, let's go for Wildbeck. I didn't know what Wildbeck was. Like, okay, let's go. So I went for Wildbeck 7 days straight, and in Wildbeck, I was able to gain strength and clarity to speak up again. So then, God telling me, okay, I know it's not comfortable, but I wanted to run the business like they're in a big space. I wanted to run the business like so. And I started. January was a little bit slow. We weren't able to meet our target because, of course, I had less staff, and I wasn't really pushing because I was trying to rebuild my strength. But at least from February down till now, it's not been bad. Yeah, we're still pushing. We're still pushing. And I'm still at home. I'm running a business from.
Hello, sorry for the break. I know you're enjoying the episode. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please just hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and also leave a comment. Share to friends and family. It goes a long way to help the channel. You can get right back into the video.
That's like very, very powerful, right? It takes a lot of strength. Yeah, so actually get going from having such first demolition, second demolition, and then having been reminded that since you failed in this thing and being able to pick yourself back up. I think that's also where the place of just not like taking a break, but like staying apart first to try and think through again, pray, and then so the programs that I went to must have also played a major role in fueling, and then God using like probably Wolfbeck to still instruct you and guide you. So sometimes it's still great that even if the journey is going very well or not even very well, it might be very important for, let's say, founders or even people or children of God to just always make sure that we are hearing from God. You take a break, look at it, speak to God about it. It's going well. God help me. It's not going well. Still help me. And eventually you'll find that strength to either keep pushing or even just start again if, let's say, you stop something. And you went on from operating from home to now training other people. They also graduated, which is like very, very interesting. So founding Pastry of Africa also, you founded that. You're also doing a bit of stuff with the Our Lord's initiative. Yeah. So beyond just being a business owner, making money, so you're also big on impacting, training other people. What's that vision that you have? Why did you move from just being just a typical business owner to saying that I want to give back? I want to build a community of people, maybe entrepreneurs in the pastry space or just even in the confectionery space, to also help them out, and then initiatives to helping people that might come to the Our Lord's initiative now to help them get grants or funds and all of that. So what's that vision that you have to do all of these things?
Well, I would say that from the beginning, it was really nothing strategic. It was just me trying everything possible. And I think in 2022, I was going to clock 25. And I knew that I didn't want to I don't celebrate my birthdays. Party stresses me. But I knew that I wanted to do something different. And I will not clearly say the Lord said, oh, NahNah, Nancy, do this. But that year, I just knew that I wanted to do something different. Yeah. And so I wanted to train 25 women since I was clocking 25. I didn't think that people were going to come, to be honest. So I did a flyer. I posted it. At the end of the day, we trained about 31 women for free for 3 days. Now, during that process, I didn't think it was going to be something I was going to continue doing. But the results I got from there, I mean, I have like two, three of them. Two in the UK, one in Ukraine. Those are what they learned that day. And I'm not saying small. I'm thinking one of them is a doctor. The other one too is doing pretty well in Ukraine, doing what they learned from that place. And I also have a couple of them because people traveled. People came from Akure. We have people from Badagry. We have people from Ogun State, coming for. And I mean, I was amazed. It wasn't something I sat down to say, okay, let's be the community, because I don't like stress. I like money, but I don't like stress. But, I did 25th birthday celebration, trained 31 women. But after the training, I started having people reach. So I'm like, okay, let me nurture these people to be sure that. So one thing I do whenever I'm volunteering with any platform, a lot of people do, we empowered 1,000 people. But I'm after the measure of success, after this empowerment, what happens after? Because most times with women like myself, it's not like they don't know what to do. Or sometimes they just need somebody to remind them that, hey, you can still pick up that thing. So I just thought of it, okay, let me bring you guys to a WhatsApp platform where whatever you practice. So after the training, I gave startup materials that they can use to make their first or second sale. So I'm like, okay, this thing, don't eat it too. Don't give it to your family. You make sure you send it. So some of them produced some things, packaged it, sent in your group. And I was like, oh, amazing. And I think we trained about 31, and I can still post up points to about 5 of them that currently run businesses with what they learned from there. In fact, there was one of them that came all the way from Akure for the training as a single person. Now she's married. She runs like a healthy physical store in Akure with what she learned from me 2020. So I look at all those stories and I'm like, okay, maybe I should just continue. I started getting requests. Can you do this? So I did more of online training.
Okay.
So I've trained a couple of people online on businesses you can start from home. So personally, I preach the message of start from where you are. Like start with what you are.
Or what you have.
So it went on like that. And when the demolition happened and we had to start up the business all over again, I was still getting requests for people for training. But I'm like, see, in my father's house, I don't think
you can bring.
Do you understand? I don't think I can.
Before they change it for you.
Before they change it for me, that are you? We are accommodating. You are still. But I took it to the Lord again. I'm like, see, this is happening. I'm having people ask me for training. What can I do? And it's like, go back to the instruction I gave me. I said, do whatever you have to do in that house. And hold on, I arranged everywhere. Create that space, inform them. Of course, it's going to cost you some black tax expanded. I didn't mind. God's my source. We didn't just keep up like that. And I had 7 people first coming to paid training for about 8 weeks. And we trained. It was beautiful. I made sure that, in fact, I even did more than I did in the previous year with the other graduates. So this ones, I spent
time with them.
Made sure that the graduation, they had their, the branding and everything was on point, despite the fact that, okay, the background wasn't really given. I remember I was talking to my content creator. I'm like, I shall want to post this thing because TikTok will just drag you like, well, why is your space not, the whole aesthetics and all? I'm like, okay, let's just post it. I mean, if we're preaching the message, let's preach it right. That this is where we're starting from. So that by the time you post your aesthetic pleasing
you can see where you're coming from.
Back and say, oh, she was training while she was
gotten to this point.
And I also volunteer for, as a trainer in my church. So they have this yearly empowerment program they do for women or anybody. Well, most of my students are usually women. So I've done that in February. I brought in students in May. August is usually like my give back month. So I volunteer with Ladies Lord. I volunteer with Ladies Lord for 4 years. So Ladies Lord is my give back to girls because our focus is from 11 to like 2021 teen girls. Now, I would say that whole process of having people ask you, I don't know what to do. I just got married. My husband said, my this said, and my head, I'm like, I'm suffering. You are coming to us, like the way you're trying, you're coming to draw strength from me. And I'll be like, God, I don't understand. I wish these people can honestly see that what this year asking me for, I also need it too. But somehow, I've been able to like draw strength. I said, okay, do this. And it worked. Because we did banana bread class. I had like an online class for free. And I had about 462 people sign up for that class. So when we're done with the class, I'm like, everybody worked on the recipe. They started selling. We did a master class. About 60 people joined in. I'm like, oh,
Were they paid?
it was free.
Free.
But the master class was paid.
Okay.
That's master class for people that had been running business but wanted to improve their recipe.
Okay.
But the 462, they were free.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, what can I even do with all these people? I now asked, okay, can we turn this into a community where if you have any pastry challenge or a place where you can always come in and learn, ask questions and know that you have someone. And that's how it started. So I named it Chef NahNah Body Hub. Joke. So it was getting interesting. We had people, I wanted my friend to join in, and we kept on expanding. But I'm not after the numbers. So for every season, I remove people. Now I like something from 400 because it's impact for me. So we kept on downsizing people that were really active, right? And I think March this year, March 2025, I attended a program by DDK. That's Pastor Debola DJ Kurali. And I was just asking God, I'm tired. I'm not even in that headspace where I have enough strength for myself, because of strength for community. So I think I want to delete this community. In fact, I had made up my mind I was going to delete the community because I was just trying to gather strength from the whole demolition thing. And at that program, I could clearly hear the Lord say, oh, my daughter, this is a community. We have to expand. Nessa. We're just on WhatsApp. We're not on any social media platform because I was not ready for that stress. And I don't understand it. I said out to listen to you. I saying I should expand for what? Then he kept on giving all that things. Said, oh, this. And I'm like, oh my God. Then he gave me. So I got Pastry of Africa at that program. Then I'm like, okay, we'll learn to do with this thing. Because already in my community, then they said, okay, you have to build a legacy of women that will find purpose with flour, but will be built on a very strong foundation of faith. And I'm like, oh, that's hard. Because if it was something I was going to start from scratch, it's easier to say, okay, this is a Christian-based or faith-based community. If you are coming here,
you know already what.
But I'm trying to rebut a community that's already started.
Yeah.
I have Muslims. I have Christians. I don't know. I'm sure I have some people that don't serve God. How will I come and say, now we'll be praying? No. These are things we don't do before.
Yeah.
I struggled. I'm like, oh no, be praying. Like, why? It's just for skill. Which one is praying? Why am I bringing faith? I struggled, honestly. But I couldn't rest. I couldn't rest because for every point, I think God selected some people to come to my DM and say, oh, Chetana, I want to do this. I can't do this. And somehow I just found that for every time I'm trying to tell them something, I take them back to scriptures without even minding they're Muslims or Christian. And I give them, there's some I even give scriptures and say, they stay on the scriptures. Let's finish by next week. I'll also pray with the scriptures or whatever God tells me, I'll let you know. And one thing I do when I go for report card is I tell my community members, okay, send me prayer points. So we have like a Google Doc where I call community prayer points, where they send me prayer points. I take 2 and I text after, maybe a personal retreat or such programs. I text them individually to say, okay, this is what the Lord will have me say to you. This is what the Lord will have me say to you. So God was going to remind them, they have been doing all these things. So
yeah. They
didn't have a problem. Muslims will send you prayer points and you will respond and they will answer whenever you tell them. So why are you struggling to make the team? I just opened the group and I went to the community leadership group and I said, okay, we will be changing the now it's a way. Now we are we'll be training in Pastry of Africa, but we'll be launching in August. We are a community that builds flour with faith. I didn't care how they took it because I've heard God.
Yeah.
And we launched last month. So, and I said, sprint. Go on platforms. I struggle to even manage my personal social media pages. and companies' social media pages now coming to
Add another
this
one again.
But something happened to me recently. I just put up a post, a volunteer on LinkedIn, because I started with LinkedIn. That's where I'm mostly active, and I made a volunteer. We're looking for a community manager at Pastry of Africa. Volunteer role. So nobody will come and tell me that it did not tell me that it's not free, it's not paid, blah, blah, blah. And we had about 1,500 people view. We had over 200 applicants. I sat down and I'm like, that volunteering was being cool. So that's, but people came to my DM. I've been going through, interview sessions with these people. And I keep on saying, it's free. I'm like, I don't mind.
So you know what you're coming into and you expect that.
Do you understand? So I'm like, but when you see the state of the heart and, the visions they want to bring to you and the readiness of their heart to work, it's just a reminder to me that if I've sent you, if I ask you to do something, I'll be back. I will send you men. Because this is barely 2 months of launching to the public. And imagine you kept quiet and you said, nobody will answer me. Nobody wants to work for free. I'll send you men. So, that whole scenario was just a reminder to me that whatever this is, I think I'll just push it. I'll just push it. I kind of have a picture of where this is going to be maybe in the next 5-10 years of what I really want out of Pastry of Africa. But I don't know how we're going to get there. But if God has said spread, it means that there are men waiting outside there, to take up this thing and spread with it.
Powerful and solid stuff there too, right? Something I picked from what you said to that once God has said you should go, just going to back you up irrespective. Just that we need to trust. And I know a lot of times, a lot of people would go through that phase of struggling. I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't think I have it yet. I'm not good enough. I'm not.
Yes. For me, it was from March to August. I struggled.
Until when eventually.
I'm like, no. We're still running the whole check on that thing. But I think at this point, I think I'm grateful for the kind of partner that I have, So he just took it and he ran with it. And next, I think that period, he gave me branding materials. I'm like, usually he won't ask, this thing, And there are some quotes I sold.
Okay.
And he didn't even ask me how I got these things. But he was just saying this. But again, it was a reminder to me. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Just do this thing.
Okay. Over all of these platforms where that you've built or that you're volunteering for, whether in church, you've interacted with a lot of women, young girls. What are major barriers I think that is hindering a lot of women from doing great stuff or doing amazing exploits? And what are the things you're also doing to help break those barriers?
I think mindset is one major thing that I've seen, because most of these people, if you say resources, most of them have resources. But most of them still don't think that what they have can get them what they really want. So I think it's first a mindset problem. So when they come, I need to make you understand that I don't have the solution you need. You need to first of all realize that, okay, whatever I want to do, I can do it. Because when you come, I have to sell you, what do you want? Or what do you, you got married, you have a child. When you were young, before you got married, what did you think you
What was your aspiration? What did you want?
Right. I'm like, I want to have my own money. See, you want to have your money. Do you have something you can do? Most of them can even do something with
trade.
Okay, so what's stopping you? My husband gave me the money. Okay, so why have you not started? So I don't think I can sell. I'm like, ugh. So I had a particular woman. My husband got her a shop. She could do all of these things that we do in the baking lines. Why don't you go to your shop? So I don't think I will sell. So you've not even gone. Right. So it's not a thing of maybe you went.
And then you're not selling.
So for some days, and maybe you seeked for help and you did not sell. This is the thing of you have looked at. She said, I just looked at the environment and I think I'll owe money there. And I'm like, at the end, close the shop. No. So we had to say a cheaper shop. So why are you allowing your husband
to keep paying for that?
So I think it's a mindset thing. So once they're able to conquer their mindset, there's absolutely nothing they cannot.
And how have you been helping them? Is it just from conversations?
We have conversations, prayers. Yeah, we have some of them personal prayer sessions. Some of them you just need to be reminded. Some of them most times I take them back to the word because I don't think that because there's some of them like ideology that Chabana has money to give me. I don't have money to give you. What I have, what I will
I'll give you the God that can give you the money.
Exactly. What has worked for me is what I'll sell to you. So whatever idea you have about me in your head, into the bin. No, you're talking to me directly. This is where you don't have husband. I don't have husband. So you have a kind of support that I don't have. All of that, right? But we pray. I don't know. I've seen prayers work for us in the community. I mean, God has given us words. Even despite the fact that before we even crossed into this faith-based thing, we've had times where people would have challenges and God will, eventually tell me, okay, I will do this, I will do that. And I'll go back to community and say, okay, this is what the Lord says, and it happens. So even the Muslims, the Christian, the Buddhist, the Babalawos, all of them in the community, I've been able to see that this woman is a woman that follows God truly. So if she sells God to you, the God she sells to you.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's talk about baking proper now. I know there are a lot of maybe bakers or people involved in food, right? They've been in business for quite a while, but maybe the cost of their product is a certain amount.
Yeah.
And some of them, they're still like struggling. And I know there is, you may correct me here, you're the expert now. I know there might be sort of a baseline taste for like any product. And then you have the very high-end product, expensive. This certain cake now, you can sell maybe this same cake for 500. But let's say if you improve the quality, you might be able to sell that same cake for 10,000.
Yeah.
Maybe if you now increase branding and some other things again, you might be able to sell that same cake, same quality for like 1 million. Yeah. So now for young bakers, what can they do first to increase what they are earning from what they are making? So what are the things that they need to put in place? Also talk about quality also. Because I know that how do you get feedback? How do you know when this recipe is not working? Because some people, they are baking, right? Cake, chin. They don't know whether it's tasting great or not. They're just making it. And then sometimes maybe people very close to them are not able to even give them the feedback that I'm not sure your cake is banging. Yeah, so in terms of quality, how can they like improve? How should they get feedback? And how can they increase what they can earn from like what they are making or just scale whatever they have?
I will still preach. Stop from where you are. Enjoy your process. Well, check what your competitors are doing, but don't copy. Just check to be sure that you are not behind trend.
Okay.
Right. Enjoy the process, right? Put major things in place. Quality, packaging, innovation. Just be curious. So curiosity will make you know that, okay, you're not the best of the best, even though you claim to be.
Okay.
There are people out there that do things way better than you do. Now, for somebody like me, I'm always training. My best friend would check on me. I know that you're in one particular business school or something. I'm like, yes. Because that's the only way I'm learning the experience from the business.
Yeah.
But there are other things you need to learn in some classrooms of people who have gone through that process so that you're able to compress, the pain or whatever, or the losses you will feel when you go through the same thing, right? So look out for people that are doing what you want to be doing and go and learn from them. It sort of helps you because that person has gone through that experience.
They can share
have had their own losses. So you go there now to learn and you cut or it reduces the number of losses that you will be having because you've learned from somebody who had worked through that part. So if there's somebody you really, really envy in the industry, in our industry, if you like, okay, this person has the right packaging or something. There's just something. So if you don't have access to the person, that's fine. But I'll say check what your competitors are doing, but don't copy.
When you say don't copy their design, their presentation style, or their recipe.
Yes. Yes. One thing about baking is we can both use the same recipe, but we may not get the same result because quality of product is different. Mm-hmm. So the person you're seeing in Lekki, it probably has a source that supplies her imported products. While you buy from Nigeria, the products cannot be the same thing. So if you want to judge based on, she will probably sell for 1 million and you will sell for 100,000, but you feel like she has more customers because she has more leverage on some things that you don't have. But if you understand that, okay, this is what she's doing that you're not doing, and you understand that, okay, this is where you are at the moment, and you appreciate it, with time you get there. Because one, you will settle. You won't settle. You always want to
improve,
rethink things and, automate some things or even tweak some things to maybe not exactly look like what you're saying, but it's close to it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like curiosity, I think that changes a lot of things. Once you know that, what should I be doing to improve? You're looking at what your competitors are doing, and you're also self-aware. This is where I am. This is where I want to get to. Then what do I need to get there? And the point you also mentioned, I think is also very important, is that not just relying on just your experience or what you know. Go out there, interact, listen to people, business school, if you have the access. Just go to whatever school that you can just go to learn.
Everywhere. I've been to business school this year twice.
What sort of business school and how?
Lagos Business School. They were fully funded, and I feel like it's just being at the right place where these opportunities may. These opportunities may not come to you. You have to be in the room where these opportunities are being dumped in. So I'm a sponge. I'm an opportunity sponge, because I know that I don't have rich uncle. I'm not a nepo baby, right? And backed up by God. But don't forget that even if we know that, God is our source, God will fund you. God will use opportunities and people to fund you, right? So you don't affirm these things and you're not putting in the right, or you're not staying, or you're not pushing yourself into the right ones. So I'm someone that would always look out for opportunities. Now, I've won a couple of grants. Well, I don't depend on grants, because if you do so much of grants, you may not be able to tell the exact health of your company, especially around finances, because you are always bringing in external money into it. So you may not even tell if you're making money or not, right? So, but after some of these grant platforms, even when you don't win their grants, they still bring you other opportunities that you will literally not see on newspapers.
But the participants will just be beneficiary of them.
The participants will also, when I got my first fully funded opportunity to take a course in Lagos Business School, it was through Access Bank, and I had applied for Access Bank Women Pitchathon. That was last year. I didn't win, but being in the community, they always come and say, "Oh, hi women. Access Bank is partnering with Lagos Business School. They want to give opportunities to 20 women." At that time, of course, if it's something you think you need, and don't overdo these things. Don't overload yourself with, knowledge that you don't need. So the way I operate is, if I need this, if this is what I need in this season, I go for it. Good. So despite the fact that there are opportunities all over the place, they may not be what I need. So overload of it may kill the curiosity I have at that time. But if I need to deal with this particular problem, I look for opportunities that are going to stick to the problem that I'm about to solve, and just go for it. So, yeah.
How did you find the Access Bank, the first one, even though you pitched but you did not win? How did you get that information to even apply?
I think I saw it on Instagram.
I think that's just still where curiosity and just research also comes.
So I'd seen that they had past winners. So I did like a notification that wherever they make a post on their page, I see it. So.
I think maybe 2025 too. You also won the Mario Jewelry grant also.
Yeah, that's $5,000.
$5,000. Winning that, what did it mean for you? Now, not just financially, right? Maybe even emotionally, being someone that had to fight through just to win. What did it mean for you, and how has it also propelled your work?
So Mario Jewelry's grant to me was God reminder that I'm still here. So Mario Jewelry's grant to me was very personal, because I didn't see it in usual places. So coming into the year, one of the instructions I got was to take LinkedIn very serious. So I started posting on LinkedIn. So most times, instead of doing endless scrolling on Instagram, you always find me on LinkedIn. And that particular period, I was just scrolling. So I'd seen it. She went somewhere, the particular organization said, "Oh, this particular woman wants to give out grants to 20 people." But, the Nigerian Emmy was like, "I beg, they'll probably select
the people they want to select.
But even like when God wants to bring you to something, you will see it and see it, and since the point where you're like, okay.
I'm done. I'll do
I'll
what you want me
apply.
to do.
You know, so I saw it on LinkedIn. I saw it on LinkedIn. I beg. So one of the pages one of the communities, business communities I'm in, posted it again. Then somebody reached out to me to say, "Oh, hi, NahNah, I'm applying for this grant. Please, can you guide me through the process of the story?" And I'm like, I honestly just told them to be like, give her my iPass and all. And it's okay. This is grant that this. So let
Let me just.
me just even. So it was just like, let me just even apply. No, I opened the link and she was like, share your story. I'm like, just story. If you are not even asking us to maybe do a video or it was very easy. So I wrote my story and I shared it and I applied and then forgotten about it. So when I saw, oh, congratulations, you were selected, I'm like, this grant that I didn't even put on my all to.
Yeah, just wrote.
I just wrote like, let me just, because I kept on seeing it. And I applied. I think we were in class for about a week. So personally, I feel like God used Access Bank grants to prepare me sort of for this because Access Bank grant was mini MBA for 2 months. So I was going to the island every day for 2 months, 1 week in, 1 week out. So when the regionalized grant came, I was like, we have to come to the island to come and, the venue was on the island, then we had to study. If I'd not gone through that 2 months, I'll be like, I beg, don't want stress.
You can't deal with that. But your
Because I
experience there
done
was
that. I'm like, I had 2
helped you
months,
build strength.
1 week. What was there? I started going, well, one thing I would always do is once I get to TBS and I'm walking into that stadium, I would start making declarations. My efforts not being vain, blah, 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 and all. Because I didn't think I'll win. Well, let's not bad if we not try.
Yeah.
It was an exciting time, and I think her grant is one grant that, because she came in to interact with us, and that's really rare. Other grants that I've won, you don't see the person that wants to
Give.
it's just, but she would always come in, want to have interactions with you. What's wrong with your business at the moment? How can we help you? Blah, 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 blah. And it was really exciting for me. But when I said Access Bank prepared me for this, because I didn't win Access grant, right? Mm-hmm. But it made me go back to my drawing board. It's okay. I know Pastry is everywhere. What can I do in my next grant to stand out such that nobody's going to tell me cake is not healthy?
Yeah, so
How is cake helping the economy? What are you bringing that is different? So that helped. That process, helped me to go back to the drawing board. So I knew that my next grant, I was not going to present what I presented before. I was going to come in different. So I think that coming in different was what helped me, stand out. That despite the fact that I'm in a saturated business space, there's something I can do differently with the product I currently have that will make me win a grant. Yeah.
I'll double down on that again. What did you do differently?
Okay, so I would say my first grant, I pitched cake, affordability of cake.
Yeah.
My second grant, I think I pitched academy. Then when I said power. My third grant, I can't remember what I pitched then. Okay, so for Access Bank, I pitched small chops. I can never forget, the woman picked my small chops and she was like, it's not healthy anymore. I know that there are veggies inside. But I was just trying to tell her that, excuse me. She was like, if I bring vodka and I put lemon into vodka, will I tell her that vodka is healthy? I said, no. She said, so what is this? So for my regularly, I pitched innovation around what I do. I pitched convenience. Right, so I pitched that, okay, in this fast-paced economy, people don't want to spend so much time in the kitchen. So my product is that's ready to eat, ready to go, convenient product that helps you save time. And they were like, oh, okay. Then of course packaging. And they were sold.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so still in line with this, is there any other practical advice that maybe from all of your experience applying for grants, for funding, for someone out there that might be watching or listening to this that is also looking for how they can also get their first grant or get funded? Maybe they've tried saving up, it's not there. Just maybe getting a funding or just getting a grant might be what's just going to change their business or help them even stay longer in the business. Are there any other practical tips that you'd want to share that can help people get funded or get grants?
Well, I'll say understand your why. Why do you need the grants? Because most times there's a level of excitement that comes when you have been paid a huge
money without any that you need to give them back or.
So if you don't understand why you need that money, it can take you out of business or it can make you so excited and you will go and overfund what you should underfund, right? Understand your why. Document your profit, your loss, your processes, your everything, because what you're selling to your investors, not just profit and loss. This person wants to understand that, okay, if you've been here and you need this money, it means that if I look at what you've done so far, I'll be able to maybe say that, okay, if you can do this with what you have right now, if I give it money, you can do this. But what if you don't have anything to give to this person? So how would they be able to, project that, okay, this person can do this if we do this? And that thing I'll say is be resilient. Resilience just helps to make you, if you get a no, you dust your slippers,
and you move on.
You wash it, you wear it back, and you move on. Right? Don't just stay there and sulk. So you have to go back and, okay, what did the person that won, what did she do better, or what does she have that I don't have? You don't even need to be in the same business, but I'm sure that there will be a particular team. For me, in Access Bank, the winners there, the team I could see was innovation, common products, right? But they had something innovative to bring out of it. So I picked that and I ran with it. So don't present the same thing. Don't use the same template for all your grants. Always learn how to tweak. Ask questions. Don't be, I don't know. I had friends that are very good at this thing. I'm like, Afa,
how did you do it?
How did you do it? What do you think I can do? So I'm presenting my business to you. Tell me what you think I can do better that will excite you to want to bring your money into my business. I do that a lot. Yeah, I do that a lot. So I have friends like Queen. Queen is the queen of grants. So Queen runs Close Kids, and Queen is very good with grants. I reached out to Queen in Lawrence. I've done this. Oh, can I pitch to you? She's like, oh, so
and then she'll tell you places to improve.
I think you should do this. And sometimes Queen will see some ideas on Instagram and send to me like, and I think this is quite good. This is something you could bring to the business. So you need to have friends like that will be able to shield you and still clap for you because they were part of
your journey.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If you had to distill all of your experience so far in business, so one or two truths that a young woman or a young person just starting out in business or in their career can also be helpful for them, what will it be for them to be successful, maybe in career, in business?
For me, if I'm going to use my personal journey, I'll say start with what you have. Start from where you are. Enjoy your process. Document your process. Televise your process. Yes, push it out. Let people see it. Carry people along with the process. And most importantly, carry God along. So don't make your relationship with God a reporter, broadcaster kind of relationship, right? Carry God along. Let God go through this process with you because it's easier. So the fact that God said He will do this doesn't mean it to be easy. But when you know that, okay, this person that has sent you is always at your back to tell you that, okay, just keep on going. The journey may be rough, but I'm still with you. So I think it just helps to solidify, the whole picture. Because sometimes I've noticed that even when maybe you've lost a prophetic word and somebody says, oh, you're going to be the next richest woman, and you're living in a one-room apartment, what makes that picture not clouded with cobwebs of doubt is because you know that the one who has said it would do it. Yeah, but you need to stand and, go through that path to get there.
Thank you so much, Chef
NahNah.
It's been a very, very insightful conversation. We've learned quite a lot from your experience and then even from your journey working with God. Very, very important. Having Him lead you, instruct and guide. In wrapping up now, you put yourself out there a lot and you talked about maybe Instagram, then building a community on WhatsApp, hashtags like baking with purpose, like very big on purpose, not just doing it for the business aspect. So when you look like 5 years to this time, what's like the vision for the community, for Chef NahNah Confectioneries?
The vision Pastry Hub is that I want to look back 10 years and see a physical hub starting where not just women, but my focus is highly on women, where women will not have limitations to, businesses, especially around flour.
Yeah.
So the vision is to have a physical hub that will answer the questions to all flour problems. So if you're someone who got married and your husband will not allow you to do business at home, come to the home. You'll be able to run your business from home. If you're someone who's idle and you feel like this baking thing is not your thing, but you're very good at buying and selling, so you can come to the home. You can probably buy unbranded chin or unbranded small chops or any unbranded edible, repackaged and sell. Because it will be a hub where we'll train, not just on handy skills, there will also be business skills. It would also be a place where people can come and run their activities for very minimal fee. Yeah. So that's for Pastry Hub. So for Chef NahNah Foods, the vision for Chef NahNah Foods in the next 5-10 years is to at least be on hectares of land where I look forward to having like a very big space where we'll be training as well. We'll be buying and selling. We'll be exporting, because Chef NahNah Foods in 10 years, 5-10 years should have like a product that will be in the shelf or in the shelves and the homes of Africa and the world at large. So I'm looking forward to having products that we export and people that we train and lives that we transform using faith and flour.
We're rooting for you. And we know it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? Yeah, God has helped you thus far, and with your grit, with your resilience, just like focusing, improving, it's definitely going to happen. Yeah, well, excited for you, and we're wishing you the very best too in the journey. Thank you very much for the conversation. So lastly, I just want you to share any final words, right? So any of our listeners, maybe male, female, or even young women, right, who they've watched this episode, maybe they've even stumbled on your page, whether it's Chef NahNah or even the Pastry of Africa, they've seen what you do, but they are still maybe struggling, or they are still aspiring. They also want to do amazing experts like you that start a business, start a new career, change countries. Just leave them with a final word.
Well, I would say that bring God into it. Yeah. Allow God come down to your level, to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Because the summary of everything is still God. I don't know how to take God out of it and maybe use, the big words to inspire you. Whatever inspiration you need will still come from God. So take God. If you've not been taking God seriously before, I think this is just a sign to you to take God more seriously, because He's waiting for you. He wants to, take you to that place that your heart really yearns for, and is ready to send resources and people, to elevate that tiny thing that is in your hand. Yeah. So, and again, I'll say that the path doesn't need to be familiar. So it doesn't need to be a click thing. It doesn't need to be something that all your friends are doing, then you have to do it. It can be unfamiliar, but if it's familiar in the book, in the volume of books that God has written about you, I don't think you have any limitations. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chef NahNah. It's been a very, very insightful and very valuable conversation. I'm sure our listeners or people watching on any platform would have picked one or two things, and they can pursue with grit for them to also build their businesses, or just really do cool and amazing exploits. Continue to bring top and amazing people doing cool stuff just to inspire you, educate, and make you know that great things can be done from small places. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.